Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome to our Daily Gun Show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for an hour. And I'm just turning off my stuff on the phone here. We've got some links out tonight. We'll see if anybody joins us. I'm going to be working on some uploads that I was doing earlier today. So guncalendars.com is one of the projects. We're trying to archive Second Amendment history. And in addition to having the calendar over there, which we'll be looking at a lot tonight, because that's what I'm doing right now, we'll or we take the time when we can to post little quick videos to put the items from the calendar up into people's perception and their awareness. What happened? I gotta go pause this. I guess I really don't even need this open, so I'm just gonna close this. So we've got the guncalendars.com site open over here on the left, and then we've got 15 videos uploaded over here on the right on YouTube's old uploader. You use the new uploader for whatever reason, they've removed the ability to upload more than one video. So when I do stuff like this, where I think I had 18 videos to upload, I need to use the old uploader. So I've got 15 of the 18 already uploaded, and now what I'm looking at is after they're uploaded, you still have an opportunity to edit them all on the same screen that I uploaded them from. So there's 2 of them there that are finished, and the rest of these I'm updating the info, because a portion of this is to get the information out to humans, because humans are okay and stuff. But the other half of the goal here is to get information onto the internet. So the internet is a warehouse of information. It's also a stream of information being sent to that warehouse. So people can interpret that however they want. A lot of people recently have sat alongside the stream and watched the flow of information and been satisfied, been amazed by how much information flows up there. Another way to look at the internet is to look at the amount of information that's accumulating. And when you look at the amount of information that's accumulating, when you look at that lake instead of the stream that feeds the lake, it's a different picture. So that when you start to look at that, you start to organize it. What is the information? How do you organize it? Do you put it in chronological order? Do you put it in order of relevance? Do you put it in order of significance? How do you do it? So what I'm attempting to do is put consolidated information, extracts of information and Second Amendment focused onto that lake, onto the internet, instead of trying to play the game to be noticed in the stream, to be effective in the lake. So we have information here on the website, and we're putting information onto YouTube. I could care less if the human eyeballs look at this or not. I'd have to dress it in a different way to accomplish that. But instead, I'm trying to sync points onto the internet. I'm trying to get traction for Second Amendment stuff, trying to make it available for other humans, but also make it useful for the future. Now, I could probably do this in automated ways, but then it would be interpreted as such. So by doing it by hand like this, it's laborious and it's not real cost effective, which is one of the reasons I'm a big fan of Patreon. This isn't cost effective. There's nothing fancy or glamorous about this. As you see, it doesn't attract a lot of attention. But by doing it this way, I believe, and I could be wrong easily, I believe though that this creates a trail that's much more, it's less looking like a system did it, like a script did it, or a mechanized system did it. And we're creating little points out there. We're putting things like right now on April 20th, Wisconsin ended their prohibition on open carry. We're putting that in the description. We're putting that in the tags. We're putting that in the title. Not so much so that it gets hit, but just so that it exists. And now when that gets scheduled for April 20th, that'll exist on the internet. It'll link back to this site. It'll give this site a little bit more credibility, whatever that word is. And then everything that this site does is gains a little bit. Again, I could set up a robot or a script to do this, but you'd get a result that looked manufactured. This hobbled together, slowly created, increments at a time. Progress is interpreted as a human being doing it, therefore weighted appropriately. It'd be better probably to have some kind of unified group of people doing this, but there's at some point where it gets probably overproductive, but we'll find out in the future if we ever get that opportunity. For now, though, we'll see if anybody joins us tonight. Looks like yesterday's out there. Good evening. So I'm just going to keep working on this task, though, and that is to finish getting these uploads. I still got 3 more after all this. All right, so basically this is for the 20th. Obviously, all kinds of crazy shit happened on the 20th, but the one I'm going to focus on is Wisconsin ending their prohibition on open carry. So I just want to make sure that the title looks good. There really isn't a good image for this, so I just use this image I created with the state shape and the state flag kind of mixed together for some other projects, and I'm just incorporating it here. So that's all scheduled and good to go. I can say publish, and then it'll shrink down like those 2 below it eventually. And at some point, I've had this open for hours. So at some point, these won't work anymore, and I'll have to redo this whole thing. But I think the advantage is being able to upload 15 at a time is that I can do this. And I don't know if this is an advantage or not, but for me, it seems, I think it's useful to be able to, for example, if I wanted to put gun calendars into the tags of all of these, I can just paste, scroll up a little bit, paste, scroll up a little bit, and paste. If I wanted to do this after the fact, if I was uploading these individually, I'd have to open each one, edit, do this, save, open the next one, edit, and so forth, and do that process every time. This way, I think for uploading stuff that's similar, but not exactly the same, I think this is the best bang for your buck, which I can't imagine why YouTube decided to remove this feature or this function. All right, so this one is all set up. It was already set up, so I just added something to it, so it resaved. I like going from the bottom. For whatever reason, the format of YouTube, when they suck up underneath, as you do them from the bottom, it's sort of like zippering up. When you do it from the top, it jumps you all around backwards and stuff, so I like the flow of doing it this way. So now we're on the 19th, so I just jump back over to the 19th over here. So each of these days is basically a display from a database. Almost everything you see on the internet is a display from a database. This is just a real obvious grid, and then it displays each of the database entries that have the characteristic of this specific date. And then when you open them and you click on them, it takes you to a page, because WordPress is posts that are organized by pages. So when you click on it, it takes you to the post about that article or that event. And this is the NRA show. So on April 19th would have been, what was that? That was Sunday? Yeah, so that would have been day 3 of the NRA show. And it would have also been the end of the Waco siege and the battles of Lexington and Concord. So I'll go in here. This whole part here is boilerplate, and I'll just move this down so I have more room. Click there and start adding some stuff in front of the boilerplate. The boilerplate is the stuff that I have set up in YouTube to just be in every video. So every video is going to automatically have this amount of description. And it says stuff like, go to our main website, go to our store, your websites, check out our Patreon. And then so you can check us out on GunStreamer. And then the same thing that we try to say at the end of every video, we encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice every month, and then carry every day. And then we thank somebody again for watching us. So that stuff is in every video, so we don't have to type it each time. I call it the boilerplate, and it's set up in our, I don't know what they call it, in our something like automatic description or something like that. So what we're going to do is go up in front of that, and we're going to add some specifics for this video. So this video we made is, I don't know if it'll tell us, it's a few minutes long, and it includes information about these 3 different things. So I'm going to go in here and grab this first one and copy it and just paste it in here somewhere and get rid of that ampersand. I don't know how those work in tags, and we'll put Concord like that. And then go down here and paste that as a tag for this unique video. I don't need it in all these other ones, otherwise I could go up and paste in those others, but it's only appropriate really for this one. And then we'll put a little bit of the blurb. So we can copy that and paste it over here. Now, if I really wanted to be 100% SEO or worrying about search engines, I'd tweak that probably a little bit. I believe that's how you do it. You wouldn't want the exact same thing. But I am also trying to work this for humans so that a human would read this and not be thinking it was made by somebody foreign. So then we'll go to the next thing, which will be, I guess, Waco. And although this isn't necessarily something that we're fond of bringing up, we're not about to let the 3-letter agencies get away with shit like this and never, forget it. So in honor of everything the country stands for, we're never going to forget this kind of crap. And we won't accept it in the future. So we'll leave that. Imagine 51 days. Then it ends in flames. But what could you have possibly done? Then we got 149. What goes here? I don't know if it's the 149th. Is that right? No, it's probably 150. I guess it doesn't matter because it's not happening. So was going to be and link to that. And let's see if anybody's showing up. Nobody's showing up and nobody's jumping in. So we'll see how long we go tonight. Is my sound on? Did I mute this whole time? I don't know. It's on. Yeah, we'll see if anybody shows up. Could just be that nobody's interested. Let's see. So there. I'm going to use this as the thumbnail, even though it's a pretty crappy thumbnail. Definitely don't want to use the Waco one. It would be gross. So we'll hit publish on that. Double check that it's all good to go. Oh, we forgot to put a title in there. So let's go back and look at some of these others. This one has a good title. This one has a good title. This one just has April 19th. That's not a very good title. Siege in Waco ends. So we'll just copy that, cram it up here, and go to Texas. Capitalize that S. And those Lexington and Concord, add in there. And we'll do the NRA thing out of there. And we'll just do that. Oops. And sign. All right, so now that is a better title, and we can save it. I also go through and I make sure that all the playlists are accurate. Now, what you cannot do here, that you can do on the new one, is add, what are they called? All the cards and things and stuff. So I'd have to go back and add all those, but I really don't care about those. Those aren't really going to help in the long run. Those are just to make the logarithm find you. I'm going to go get rid of the in maybe. See what happens. The Waco siege ends. And that might still be too long. Oh, no, I took it that time. So it didn't like it because I had too many letters in the title. So I removed the word in, just 3 letters, and that seemed to work. So now we can go on to the next one, which is the 18th. So we got the NRA again. We got Paul Revere's. Oh, there's 5 different things. So we'll jump over to this. We'll open this up for sure. We'll make sure that it's set to the 18th and it's got its playlists. I guess we'll leave it to this for now until we see what these events are. So we got Paul Revere's Ride. That's probably title worthy right away. There, you can enter a couple of times. Start off with Paul Revere's Ride and the link to it. A few times. And we'll go to the next one, NRA meeting, towards the bottom. And then I'll do canceled so nobody reads this and thinks anything other. Paste and then canceled. We can do comma NRA meeting. 2A rally in Oklahoma. Oh, I forgot to put the link to the NRA one. So we got the rally in Oklahoma. 2A rally. It's going to be a few states. So we'll first take this one and we'll open this NRA thing. That link. This link to Oklahoma. Post it there. Cancel on there. Paul Revere's Ride, and we'll add this part to it so that there's some context there. And we got more, so we'll go back in here, and we got the rally to defend the Second Amendment in Minnesota. From Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus. Canceled. Assuming it is. And this isn't for anybody who might be waking up on April 18th and going, oh, I'm going to go watch the YouTube and figure out what I'm going to do for the day. Oh, I'm getting information that's outdated. Instead, this is just so that in the future, somebody's debating whether or not it's worth doing a rally and they type 2A rally into the internet. We don't just find against 2A rallies article about how 2A rallies cause violence or something. So they'll find something in here that gives some hopefully some even though it's not great info, it gives them something to work on and find and to give this stuff some relevance. I'm not sure how the logarithms work completely, but I kind of get the gist of it, and that's the goal here. Yeah, I don't know if I'd looked for that. I don't know where to do that. I'm on a different channel over here right now with something like 15 videos open, so I'm not going to switch my username and go over there, but I did look for that, Chris, and I have no idea where you undo that from, so I got to go figure it out. They changed around the control panels since the last time I dug around in anything like that. All right, so that's the rally. And do we got a Washington rally in there? Yeah, did them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 18th, and let's put some stuff down here. We'll say MNWA. If it takes that with a dash right there so that it separates that from NRA. We'll get rid of NRA meeting because it doesn't even happen. And yep, everything says canceled, so I don't accidentally leave anything open. All right, it's happy about the title, I think. I don't like that apostrophe. To me, that seems crazy to leave apostrophes in. Maybe there's codes that pull punctuation now, but back in the day, that's the surest way to screw something up. So I just can't leave punctuation in a title. I'm hesitant about leaving those commas, but I'm going to do it. All right, so I took that one, and we'll keep digging. On the 17th, go back over here. Reading a SOCOM. Seems like I just did all these videos because I just did all these videos. And let's see, so we can go Special Operations Command. Established. They create that for me. I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying. Might have been when I enlisted. It might not have been when I enlisted. All right, and then we'll put this link here. And we'll drop that there. Some tags in there. I'm not going to go crazy with them, but there are a couple in there. Make sure that the dates are good and got a decent thumbnail. Publish. All right, so I can already tell this is going to be the better thumbnail than whatever these are. So we'll go up here. We got that. So I'm guessing already that the 16th is Annie Oakley because I've seen her. So over here, Annie Oakley, over here, and Kansas. We'll say Annie Oakley shoots and see what happens. Different things happen, so we'll throw that in there. So Annie Oakley was she was 62 years old, and she just decided to go out and kick butt. Oops. And then goes out when she's 62 years old and hits 100 clay targets in a row, thrown with a shotgun. So that's pretty dang good. Read something that was it the day before she died or week before she died, but just before she died, she went out and accomplished something similar. She hit I don't remember how many, 80 out of 100 or something, just days before she died. Let's see. So we got the link to Annie Oakley in there, and now we got Annie Oakley up there, put a comma in there, I guess, and then we'll say Arizona Constitutional Carry. First, we'll put it in like this, and then we'll take that part of it. Use that as a tag, and then we'll stick it up here. Comma that, get rid of this for brevity, AZ, and then take this, put it in here, and you get even more credit if you just jam it in here for no reason. Also is good. And then go over here and make this link. Paste that link. Let's get some words. So on April 16th, 2010, Arizona became the third state to remove prohibitions on concealing a firearm concealed, at least the modern waive constitutional carry. That was signed on April 16th. It was enacted July 30th. All right, so then got the date, 16, good to go, got a thing, good. And then we can, okay. And you're thinking, wow, that makes 10 years with Arizona concealed carry. There's had to be blood in the streets. People got to be killed because of the flavor of popcorn all the time, or like because they spilled water on their shoe. But nope, none of that stuff actually happens, even though everybody who feels like it. Oh, I totally forgot to put Kansas in there. Look at all this talking, and Kansas got omitted. So Arizona's good, and Annie Oakley's pretty good. So we'll put Kansas at the bottom because it's only semi-good. But I guess Kansas also has wrote some kind of law that says Second Amendment's protected. And then I also mentioned in there that 1 out of the 105 counties at the time of writing is a sanctuary county for guns. I think I probably got room up there. So I'll put Kansas to a protection act, something like that. Copy. All this and put in 2A. Save. And let's see. Let's just say Annie Oakley. And Annie Oakley. That works. Couldn't save. All right, we'll get rid of the April 16th part. Let's remove like 10 letters. All right, now we're going to keep going. I got 4 people watching. All right, we're going to go back up. I listened to the show the other day, and it was shitty as hell, so I'm not playing the music in the background. I'm assuming that's better for everybody by not playing music in the background, but let me know if I'm wrong, and I'll start playing music in the background again, because it kind of feels like I'm sitting here in like a prison cell looking at the wall. But I guess I can blab. Problem is I have to blab, otherwise it's just dead air, right? All right, so let's see if anybody jumps in a couple minutes here. We've been going for 28 minutes. If nobody jumps in here in the next couple, I'll ditch out of here and just do this off air. There's no real need to do this in front of everybody. It's just boring. Let's see. Refresh over here. Something glitched out, and now I can click on that. There we go. So on the 15th, when everybody used to do taxes in the before times, you don't do taxes, you wait for a tax money or free money to just show up. So let's go back over here. Oh, looks like we got $5. Appreciate that. Thank you. Just leave that up there. Of course, that's an opportunity for me to say about how Patreon is a better platform. Let's see. So Montana, Mississippi, and then there we go. So then we'll put Mississippi up here. There. And I've been doing some work on some other projects and figured out when all these dates were for that project. And I figured, good, now I have them and I can put them into this, which is sort of the goal of the calendar project in the first place, is to pet individuals and organizations and states and even politicians when necessary on the back for doing good, and then held everybody, all of the above, accountable when we're not. And too often we're like a little bunch of little freaking kids. Well, everybody else is at fault all the time, but we never did nothing bad. We stuff bad all the damn time. Sitting over there listening to that platform discussion and whatever, it's about the platforms and using the platforms. But when a platform takes tens of thousands of dollars a month from the community and it offers nothing, does it build community? I worked fucking hard to build community without leeching any fucking money from the community so that money would still be there for gun shops and for projects and for work. When something takes $10,000 a month and it barely duplicates in an echo chamber what's already existing on other places, and I'm not talking about GunStreamer. I ain't talking about GunStreamer. Is it worth talking about that as a valid platform for 2A? It'd be different if it brought something to the table, but whatever. Oh, no. First, I was just talking about how I was insulting Garrett for giving me $5 first, but he's young, so now I can talk about old people. Speaking of old people, here's a gun old people can't shoot. That's the Lamat gun with the shotgun in the middle and the cartridges around the outside. Now, if they made it like 9mm cartridges around the outside and like a 9mm shotgun shell, then old people could shoot it. I would be worried if you made a gun like that with all 9mm. If you laid it down on the table and there was like a Jello mold on the table, I'd be worried that Jello mold would be able to shoot it because the recoil would be so light. And that could be dangerous. Has a Jello mold ever even taken a class? Do they even read a book or a safety manual even? Has anyone even thought about talking about gun safety with their Jello molds? I bet you it doesn't even come up very often. All right, and then what do we got? I'm not going to be able to write Mississippi in here also. Come on, Mississippi. Make a smaller name. So I'm going to just leave it. Let's see, we got Montana, Firearms Freedom Act, which is pretty awesome. All this stuff is on tax day, too. Did you know that tax day is the same day that Lamat was born? Mississippi constitutional carry. So let's copy that and then go like this, paste, get rid of the passes. So we don't need passes. Search engine optimization robots don't make passes at descriptions that say passes too many times. So then we'll say constitutional carry is freely read. Just like when you're in school and you need to get to 500 words, you just have to write things in here once in a while. So now it is all happy and 1515, good to go, good to go. Let's see if we got it. Oh, look, our thumbnail's horrible. So what do we got? Lamat and stuff. Montana, Mississippi. Let's see if I got that Lamat pistol. What are we talking about? April. I don't see it in here. Where did that Lamat thing come from? Let's see when here's a Lamat thing. Oh, that's cool. When's he dead? Maybe it's under here when he died. So we'll cancel out of here. Go back to, when was it? 15th, that's right, it was tax day. And then we'll open that and we'll see what the hell's going on with this picture. So let's just say save image as. We'll just take that same picture back. We'll shove it into here for now. Save, and then we'll pick it up from there. How about that? So now we'll go here. We'll go to downloads. What are you doing to me? We'll go to downloads. We'll take this and we'll edit it right off the bat. We'll pull that over here and we will drop down the toolbar. We'll rotate it that way. No. We'll flip it 180. Yeah. And then we can do something like this. Crop and save. I don't care what the old one looks like. So now we can go in here and take that old one, and it's our thumbnail. We have to do it twice because sometimes computers are stupid. All right. You are welcome to test the assumption that old people can't shoot at your convenience, and then gun safety rule, don't piss off an old guy. That's tough because old guys are always going to the bathroom. All right, and next we'll go to save that one. And we'll come back up here to 14. We got a bunch more still, so I got a couple more to go. This is great fun. Let's see, next is the 14th. Go back over here, get rid of that, figure out what's on the 14th. Air Force Reserve, Mosin. So we got Mosin born. That'll be a good description. I'm going to take the link to that. There, enter. And then we got Air Force Reserve's birthday. Copy that. Paste that. That is A3. You can shoot better than me. Right on. And then put the link. Oh, we gotta put this whole thing in here. There's this link. This. And mute so I can cough. I think we got the Army Reserve birthday and the Air Force Reserve birthday, both in this month. Different years, but both in this month. That's interesting to me. So first we'll just put in Air Force Reserve, and then we'll put in Air Force Reserve birthday. And I'll hit enter. And I guess I didn't look for a good thing. That's an okay one, but we'll go in here and grab a better one, right? Keep all these event things in here. So there's the Mosin one. I gotta find it again. Oh, that's it right here. Turn to editing. And it's a little bit bigger. I forget, was I going up or down? So this one looks like it's good to go. So maybe I was going up. And we're on April 27th. All right, no, nobody's showing up tonight, and we're barely hanging at about 6 people, and it's not like there's a slew of discussion going on. Like I say, Chris, if you're still out there, I can't in the middle of this log out of this YouTube account. It would kill all these uploads, or the editing that I'm able to do to these uploads from the single page. But once I'm done with all this, I'll go give it another attempt from the computer here. How to, if anybody knows the process, feel free to link me to it or something. But I couldn't find where it is. There's some list somewhere of all the different accounts that you either have set up as a wrench or blocked, and I gotta find you in that list and unblock it. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna log out of here and say thanks to everybody for watching. I guess there's only 5 of you watching. Some of you ditch out as soon as I start wrapping it up. So for those of you that haven't, and if you're looking for something to do right now, I'm gonna recommend heading over to Smarter Every Day, that YouTube channel. That guy's got an awesome video on, they 3D printed, kind of came up with 3D printed a visor for medical, whoever people need them right now. And like in conjunction with the face mask, it's a personal protection device. And it's not so much the story of the object, right? It's a story of how they were able to accomplish facilitating the production, getting that object created and shipped out. So It's amazing. And he doesn't, I mean, you can watch, he has another video where you can watch about the 3D, all the nitbits about uh, the mask and the shield and all that. But he has a video up that's, I think, pretty inspirational. And it's just about the process that they use to come up with the system. And it's a bunch of engineers, so their system's a little nerdy, but a system that allows them to create the masks, and then how they coordinated and started to collaborate with others, and then they encourage people to do the same. So it's not just an effort in volunteerism for this emergency or this crisis, but I think it has some potential for in the future. And a lot of people are focusing on the negative and the potential worst case scenarios, but there's lots of positive consequences that are going to come from everything, the whole entire world being rained out for a little bit like this. And it's Smarter Everyday channel does a real good job of focusing on some of that. We'll be focusing on that in future shows when I've got somebody in here to talk with. But until then, I'll keep working on some of these projects to keep videos streaming. We've got, I don't know, 13, 18 of them coming up for this month alone. And the more I dig in, you can see almost every single day in March or in April, we've got a calendar event. I haven't spruced up April yet, but it's pretty full. If we go back to March, I have a couple that I have to yet add to March, but you can see there's only about 4 or 5 days in March that don't have a single event. And that's our goal, is to get every single day with some kind of firearms anniversary, history, or waypoint. With that, I want to thank everybody for showing up, even the oldest of you. Stack them on my table and stare at them all day. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. It would be cool to get all of the gun calendars put into a book. Unfortunately, books don't sell as well as they used to. Well, that's what the almanac is. So you can buy the almanac over on the Gear websites, is a store that we have. Thanks for bringing that up. And I think if you go to products and then down to custom gear, you're going to find the individual stuff that we might have. And I guess that's not where it is. So let's just type almanac in here. So where do I have that? Maybe it's under 2A stuff. Yeah, it's under 2A stuff. And I'll put it under the other one as well. But so I'm just printing the Shooter's Almanac here in Tucson just with my printer. I've got some new ink. I have to go get it. It's over at the mailbox. So we've got all the stuff we just talked about and more. So it's got pretty much all the events that we talk about in these things in there in a format where each page is a week. And so there's 68 pages altogether. So each page is a week. So there's 52 pages that describe the different, again, anniversaries, holidays, events, inventions, birthdays, other things throughout the year. But then there's also, it's an almanac. So there's lists, there's schedules, there's calendars, there's historical points. There's, if you, through the middle, there's a quiz. There's quotes in the spine here. So every part of the book, I tried to make it as used as possible. I wanted to play around with it and use every square inch of that paper that I could. And since we couldn't really get those made last year, because I'm an idiot, we attempted to make them short run, but instead I'm just printing them one at a time. So there's been one made. There's one sitting there, and that one is $50, basically $45. And if that one ever sells, I'll make a third one. So there's very few, and you can get one. Of course, it's a historic document at this point because most of the rallies, most of the rallies have either taken place or will never take place. They'll have to be rescheduled. So whenever that happens, I'll make a second edition of the almanac, and we'll have an updated version. But anyway, there is the almanac, and then for our Patreons, we're going to be doing something special to use up some of my black ink, and that'll be something we ship out to Patreons, hopefully on a regular basis if we can get it all figured out. But again, thanks for bringing that up. I'll throw the link in here just for posterity. Hopefully someone will buy that and that will pay a bill, $45. Now it costs something. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it costs almost $8 worth of ink by the time I figure out, at least buying a cartridge at a time. I just bought some refills. So with the refills, they claim that they can do 6 refills. And if that's the case, then it's significantly cheaper to print a book. But I suspect it'll be somewhere in between $1 and $6 worth of ink to print one of these books by myself. And then, you print it all and you screw something up, then that's just distributed ink cost across other books. I'm no printer, but I do want to get the information out there, and that's a way to do it. So with that, we'll wrap it up. Thanks to Garrett for bringing that up so we could talk about that real quickly there at the end. I'll continue to send out links. We'll see if people show up. Every once in a while, people do, and then we have a great conversation. Every once in a while, people show up and we don't have a great conversation, but you're part of it. People that are watching this thing live, I see Apes out there too, HVS, even though he can barely hear, and he's got one of them like horns up to his ear so he can hear. And then Gun Garrett and Snob is out there. I know Chris is out there too. He's blocked. Ozzy went nuts and blocked a bunch of people the other day. Rogue. Thanks for showing up. We will be back to pick you up later.